Hey family, I'm back with the next installment of Find Your Flavor, and so today I wanted to kind of talk to you about what's next in the process. So, in keeping with the other videos, I kind of summarized what we've done to this point. We've kind of gotten in our control room and kicked some cooks out the kitchen. We've done an entrance inventory. We've done some life casting. We've done a life audit. What's our ideal day? If we thought about things that we want to do, we've done a myriad of things. If you haven't seen the first, I believe it is 6 videos, 6 or 7. Oh my gosh, I lost count because, we're really getting to the meat of it now. I'll link those below. And for those of you who are wanting to join the email group, the button is fixed. Excuse my technologically challenged self sometimes, but I've tried it myself, and so everything is working. Would love for you to join the email list, and once we get some people joining the list, I will start sending out some templates that I have created to kind of help you find your flavor. So at this point, you should be kind of clear about at least what genre you're meant to be in. And I know in previous videos I've encouraged you kind of not to jump ahead or jump to any conclusions, but I really want you to take the time to really write it down. Get you, a flavor notebook, so to speak. Get you a journal, something where you can put all these thoughts together and you're not just kind of going, oh yeah, let me think about it, because something about writing it down, going back and reading it again makes a huge difference when you're really trying to get down to the heart of it. It's a great place to put your prayers. It's a kind of great place to put, how God has answered your prayers when you're really trying to say, hey, why am I this way? What was I designed to do? How can this be beneficial to other people? So the next step, after you kind of write it all down, and I hope you've been doing it along the way, but if you haven't, go back, because sometimes when we listen to things more than once, we kind of get something that we didn't get the first time. Even I'm the one talking, and I've gone back and watched the videos and go, oh, you know what? It made me think of this or that or something else. So I think that would be very helpful for you. I'm not telling you that just to try to be controlling or something like that. I really think it's beneficial. And that's from my own life experience, going back and looking at some of my journals and some of the visions and thoughts I had for my life from years ago when I was too afraid to embark on some of those things. And some of those things took 4 and 5 years for me to get up the courage or the faith to do. So write it all down. And the next step, so now that you're kind of in the genre, so for example, when I went through, I kind of realized that the genre for me was obviously the culinary world, and I'm talking more career now, but like I said, Find Your Flavor is more than just about what you're going to do to earn income. It's what kind of woman you want to be, what kind of man you want to be, what kind of family you want to have, what kind of friend, family member, relative, employee, co-worker, boss, manager, spouse, parent. Just what kind of human do you want to be, or what kind of human were you designed to be? And so what I realized is, okay, I'm in the culinary space. I knew that, and I kind of had some things that I knew that I really wasn't cut out for, or that I really, wasn't drawn to. Like, I knew I didn't want to go work in restaurant and hotels, okay? So I said, I knew I kind of wanted to be independent as far as being a chef and being freelance. And so what I did is I decided to go taste testing. And so that's the name of this video. You're going to be taste testing. And what I did was I just kind of said, what's all in the culinary world outside of restaurants and hotels that I could do? Whether it's catering, whether it's, personal chef, whether it's teaching cooking classes, whether it's dinner parties, whether it's, blogging or vlogging or anything like that, consulting, all types of things that I could do. And guys, I tried recipe development. I tried them all. I did a little bit of everything. I did a lot of some things, a little bit of others, and I kind of really got a feel. And I would tell you, none of that time was wasted. I learned so much about what I like, what I don't like, what's really important to me, what's not important to me, what kind of people I'm willing to work with, what kind of people I'm not willing to work with, how much I want to charge for my services, what kind of clients I want to have, what kind of clients I don't want to have. There's been some people, who have reached out to me for services, and just based on their disposition or personality, we really weren't a fit. And I said, I thank you so much for reaching out to me, but I really don't think that I'm the chef that you're looking for, okay? And that's okay. And that's the beauty of kind of knowing your flavor, because like I said, when you know your flavor, you know what you bring to the table. When you know what you bring to the table, you know your worth, okay? And if you know that you're the kind of person that when you have a dinner party, you can't put your stinking boots up on my table, then don't let anybody put their stinking boots up on your table. So what I want you to do, whatever your lane is, and I'll go way back to the beginning when I gave the illustration about the photographer, is that I want you to try on, I want you to taste test, I want you to sample as many things that you can think of in that area, even if you think you're not going to like it. Because let me say this, I never tried hotels, but I did work in a restaurant on campus in my culinary school, and I kind of knew from that that's not what I wanted to do. But then I said, oh my gosh, what else do I want to do? I will also tell you to, you know, search out, you know, unconventional blank, or, you know, non-traditional blank, particularly if you're talking about the career field. But also, if you know, if you say right now I am X, Y, and Z, you know, let's just say right now you're a working mom, okay, and you're curious about what it would be like to be a stay-at-home mom. Take a week of vacation, right? And don't go out of town and say, hey, I'm going to do a week on everything I thought I would do, or 2 weeks, or however much time you have whenever you get the opportunity, and see what that would be like, okay? Crunch the numbers with your spouse and say, is this what I want to do? But back to the photographer example, if let's say you want to be a photographer, right? So go and see if you can find work doing weddings, and what you like about it, what you don't like about it, or portraits, and where do you find people who are looking to have their picture taken. Or if you want to go the high school route, do senior pictures, if you want to do landscaping, if you want to submit editorial things for magazines, I say seek out all those opportunities. You may nail it on the first try. You may go through 5 or 6 different iterations of something in your genre and you don't like it. I know right now some girlfriends and I are having some very in-depth discussion on what I want to call the crisis of femininity among African American women, and I may talk about that on my channel, but right now that's kind of a very intimate conversation we're having. But the point is that we are redefining what it means to be feminine to us as black women versus the image that the world has put out about whether or not they believe black women are feminine and, you know, girly and all that kind of stuff, and what that looks like for us within our unique culture. So anyway, the point is we are finding our own individual flavors, each one of us, in that space, and that's not career. It's what kind of woman do I want to be? What does feminine look like to me? I was recently watching, to digress a little bit, a video from Natural 85 on her Dear Natural 85 channel where she vlogs, and she was talking about how she wasn't really girly, and she has a daughter now, and she didn't want her daughter to wear pink or tutus, and how she's really allowing her daughter the space to kind of, you know, is her daughter a girly girl, and is she more of not a girly girl, and why does she reject that? And the notion of, can you be feminine and or girly and still be a strong, you know, very confident, you know, productive, contributing woman to society. And those aren't her exact words. That's me, kind of my own interpretation. And I was looking at her and I thought to myself, but based on my definition of femininity for my life, I think she's very feminine and very girly. But it's all about what your definition is and not what the world's definition is. So with that being said, even in my personal life or my personal style, I had to find my flavor is in what do I want to look like? What's my look? Okay, and I may not be able to define it based on the world's categories, but I have my own. What kind of woman do I want to be? What kind of friend do I want to be? And what kind of way do I want to earn income or contribute to my family and my household and all that? So get out there, guys. You've got to try it. You can't sit in the house and assume any of these things, right? You know, I for a while I was like, I wonder what it'd be like to go natural. So I went natural. If you didn't like it, you can go back. If you want to know what it's like to be locked, lock your hair. If you don't like it, you can unlock your hair. I mean, if you decide I want to be a bohemian chic kind of girl and you go down that path and you like it, great. If you don't, go be preppy, go be kind of sparkly and blingy, go be au natural, whatever you want to be. If you want to be, the homegirl for advice, if you want to be the one that people can lean on, if you want to be more nurturing or comforting, whatever you want to be. So, but you have to try it. And it's okay to go through different phases. And it's not that you are not being yourself. You're seeing what fits best with you. I think a lot of times what we do is this is all I've been exposed to, so this is what I'm going to do, versus saying, well, let me reach out and see if this is a better fit for my personality. I know for me, I've done that with food. I've done that with style. I've done that with, you know, the kind of friends that I want to have, the way I want to look, the kind of person I want to be, what kind of person I want to be on a job, what kind of person I want to be as a chef. So you got to get out there and try it, because a lot of times when we're sitting at home, we are assuming things are a certain way, and while some of those assumptions may be true or close to the truth, it's not a full picture. There's nothing like getting true understanding than experiencing it and being fully committed to that experience. So that's what I have for this week, guys. Let me know. You know, I'm thinking about doing like a Google Hangout. If you guys want to ask me questions. I don't know if you have any questions, because it's kind of just me kind of chatting with you and sharing my thoughts. But if you have questions, let me know. If you say, hey, Evelyn, yeah, I would love a Google Hangout, let's put it in the comments below, or you can leave your questions below and maybe I'll do a Q&A video. Whatever, you know, works best for you. And if you are interested in a Google Hangout, let me know what day of the week and what time is a really good time for you guys. But as always, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I hope you're sharing this. You know, I would love to get your feedback. If you do a video that you think, you know, is in line with this, you know, leave me a comment. Let me know that you did a video. I've been going and watching some of you guys who said that you just did a video on something similar, and it's really inspiring. And I love to get other people's perspective, because it helps me grow even more as I fully develop my flavor profile. And so make sure you guys are following me in between videos on social media. You can find me at Facebook as Chef Evelyn, Twitter Chef Evelyn, Instagram Chef Evelyn, even on Pinterest as Chef Evelyn. And you can always find me at chefevelyn.com, and by joining the Inside Dish. You can also join Find Your Flavor to get more content specifically related to this, guys. And yeah, that's it for this week. I think it was a little long-winded. I'm trying to get them shorter, but you guys, y'all know I can talk, okay? Anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.